Welcome to the royal world of Reeva Rare. The art of jewelry making is one of humanity's oldest forms of storytelling. And at Reeva Rare, every creation begins with the same philosophy, that a jewel must do more than decorate. It must speak of love, of heritage, of ambition, and of beauty that transcends the ordinary. Our atelier, known across the globe for its bespoke craftsmanship, is built not on speed or replication, but on patience and rarity. We create only once for each design, ensuring that the piece owned by one client is never repeated for another. This promise of exclusivity is at the heart of Reeva Rare, and nowhere is it more beautifully expressed than in the making of our handcrafted diamond pendant, a pear-shaped white gold masterpiece with a purple spinel at its core. To understand the journey of this jewel is to understand how fire, stone, and human imagination merge into something eternal. The beginning is always with the metal, and for this pendant, that metal is white gold. The journey of gold is an odyssey in itself. Imagine the earth giving up her most prized element, found deep underground, purified, and finally ready to meet fire. In our workshop, raw gold is melted in crucibles, transformed into a glowing liquid that feels almost alive. The artisans of Reeva Rare handle it with reverence, for they know that in its softness lies the strength to hold diamonds and stories alike. The molten gold cools into a bar, then into sheets, and from there, it is cut and shaped into the base of the pendant. This process may seem mechanical to an outsider, but to those who watch, it is magical. As the first sketches are traced onto the cooled metal by hand, the framework of the pendant emerges. The artisans do not rely on computer models or prefabricated molds. Instead, they depend on instinct, balance, and inherited knowledge, ensuring the design feels alive, not manufactured. The spinel gemstone, chosen as the centerpiece, carries a story of its own. Spinel is not a stone commonly chosen in the jewelry markets, and that is precisely why Reeva Rare selected it. Our philosophy is to offer what cannot be found elsewhere, and the deep royal purple of this stone sets it apart from rubies, sapphires, or amethysts. It is rare, dignified, and filled with a quiet fire. Historically, spinel has been worn by rulers and warriors, often mistaken for rubies, yet valued for its resilience and vivid hues. One tale from the Mughal courts describes a young prince who carried a spinel in his ring during battle, believing it gave him courage to face overwhelming odds. Whether legend or truth, the stone has carried its aura of strength for centuries. When placed at the heart of this pendant, it not only adds color, but embodies that same courage and individuality. A jewel with a story becomes more than a jewel. It becomes a talisman. Shaping the pendant requires not only artistic vision, but also technical mastery. The pear shape is deceptively simple, for its curves must remain symmetrical from every angle. Our artisans carve the metal with steady precision, preparing the surface for diamonds. This stage is similar to preparing a canvas before painting. The foundation must be flawless. Tiny cavities are drilled, each one destined to cradle a diamond. The outer and inner borders are carefully measured so that the stones, when set, will form a seamless halo of brilliance. The spinel seat is crafted with extra care, ensuring the gem sits neither too high nor too low, but perfectly balanced. This attention to proportion is what elevates a pendant from being beautiful to being extraordinary. The artisans at Reeva Rare often say that jewelry making is like sculpting air. You cannot see the mistakes, but you can feel them, and so, every fraction of a millimeter matters. Within this workshop lies another story, the story of a craftsman who has worked with us for over 4 decades. He began as a boy, sweeping gold dust from the workshop floor. Watching masters at work, one day, when no one was watching, he took a broken piece of metal and tried carving it with a nail. The design was crude, but when the master saw it, he recognized the spark of talent. That boy became one of the finest stone setters in India. And today, his hands continue to bring brilliance to Reeva Rare jewels. His philosophy is that every stone is a living star and must be treated as such. To him, the pendant is not just an ornament, it is a universe of light waiting to shine. This belief infuses each piece with soul, ensuring that every client who wears Reeva Rare feels the unseen dedication behind their jewel. The diamonds now take their place in this creation. Each one is hand-picked, passing through rigorous checks for cut, clarity, and symmetry. Unlike machine-sorted stones, Reeva Rare's diamonds are personally examined by expert gemologists, who seek not just perfection but harmony. One by one, with the soft click of tweezers, they are set into the prepared cavities. The process is slow, but it is in this slowness that excellence is born. As the double halo of diamonds forms around the spinel, the pendant begins to glow. The brilliance of the diamonds does not drown the central stone. Instead, it enhances it, much like stars that circle around the moon. This is the dance of light, white brilliance and royal purple, each magnifying the other's beauty. Clients who commission such pendants often say they can feel the difference between a machine-set jewel and a hand-set one, for the latter carries a warmth that can only come from human touch. Once the diamonds are set, the spinel gemstone is finally placed. This moment is almost ceremonial. The stone is held against the light, inspected for its glow, and gently fitted into its seat. The artisan tightens the setting, locking it into place, and suddenly, the pendant comes alive. It is no longer just gold and diamonds, it has become a masterpiece. The spinel radiates its purple fire, framed in the brilliance of diamonds, and the entire piece reflects not just light, but emotion. Many who witness this stage describe it as a jewel being born, and in truth it is. At Reeva Rare, we believe that a finished jewel is not the end of a process, but the beginning of a legacy, ready to accompany its owner through life's journeys. The final polishing is where the pendant reaches perfection. Every surface is smoothed, every edge refined, until the white gold shines like a mirror. Polishing is not about removing flaws. It is about bringing out the soul of the metal. As the pendant turns under the polishing wheel, it begins to catch and reflect light from every angle, creating a dance of brilliance. To hold the pendant at this stage is to understand the meaning of luxury, not excess, but refinement, not abundance, but rarity. Reeva Rare has always stood for this philosophy, that true beauty is not loud but eternal, not common but unforgettable. Polishing is our signature of respect for the material, for the craft, and for the client who will one day hold this jewel close to their heart. Reeva Rare's world extends beyond pendants. Our ateliers create diamond rings that capture the promise of love, necklaces that transform a bride into a queen, earrings that turn a glance into a statement, and bracelets that commemorate life's most treasured milestones. Each jewel is made once, never repeated, ensuring our clients possess something no one else on earth can claim. We work with white diamonds, pink diamonds, yellow diamonds, and rare blues, always sourcing ethically and responsibly. Our reputation has made us the choice of collectors, royalty, and visionaries worldwide, for they know that Reeva Rare is not simply a jeweler. We are curators of rarity, guardians of exclusivity, and storytellers through gems. Stories form the heart of our work, and one story that remains close to us is of a bride who received a Reeva Rare pendant on her wedding day. For her, it was not just a jewel, but a memory frozen in brilliance. Years later, she returned to us, bringing her daughter, and together they commissioned another pendant, not a replica, but a continuation of that legacy. The two pendants, though different, were bound by design, by story, by love at her daughter's wedding. The two generations wore their pendants together, symbolizing a heritage of affection. This is what sets Reeva Rare apart. We do not merely create jewelry. We create heirlooms that live across time, connecting the past, present, and future through diamonds and gold. And so, the pendant we have described, with its pear-shaped, white gold structure, double halo of diamonds, and regal purple spinel, is more than a jewel. It is a philosophy made visible. It tells of fire and metal, of patience and craft, of artisans who see poetry in gold and stars in diamonds. It tells of rarity, of individuality, of beauty that will not fade. To own a Reeva Rare jewel is to own something that cannot be repeated, cannot be found elsewhere, cannot be forgotten. It is to step into a world where jewelry is not fashion, but art, not ornament, but legacy. And that is the promise we continue to uphold in every piece we create. And now, this masterpiece awaits its story with you. At Reeva Rare, we extend the same devotion and artistry into diamond rings that celebrate eternal love, earrings that sparkle with elegance, bracelets that mark milestones, and pendants that become heirlooms. Each creation is crafted only once, ensuring your jewel is as unique as your journey. We invite you to step into the world of Reeva Rare, where every diamond tells a story, and every design becomes your signature of rarity. Thank you for joining us on this journey of craftsmanship and beauty. Don't forget to subscribe, stay connected, and let Reeva Rare be the curator of your next unforgettable jewel.